Think about that. A fanless Ultrabook on battery power is more powerful than a gaming laptop connected to power. In November 2020, Apple shocked the world with the M1 MacBook Air being much snappier, more battery efficient, and much more powerful, while also being fanless. Although it was a killer deal in 2020, can the same be said now with the release of its successor? Hey there, I'm Technothorn, and today, let's find out if the M1 MacBook Air is still worth it. The M1 MacBook Air has the same design from the 2018 Airs, which still looks good in my opinion. It is tapered, making typing on a laptop comfortable, opposed to the MacBook Pros. The entire body is constructed of aluminum, making the laptop very solid, rigid, and stable, with no keyboard flex. Around the sides, we have two USB 4 ports, aka Thunderbolt 3, and a headphone jack. And at the top, we have solid aluminum with the Apple logo. Overall, I think this design is great, even today, and it gives this laptop a very solid, dense feeling. The MacBook Air's performance is absolutely ridiculous. To show you that, next to this fanless 2-year-old Ultrabook that you can pick up for $850, we have a 2-year-old HP Pavilion gaming laptop with a 10th Gen i7, NVIDIA 1650 Ti, and 16 gigs of RAM, costing a little over $1,000 2 years ago. A proper gaming laptop that's focused on only one thing: performance. Unplugging both laptops, I fired up Cinebench R23, and the M1 absolutely destroys the HP, being about 57% faster. As Windows laptops gain performance when plugged in, after connecting the HP to power, the M1 is still 18% faster. Think about that. A fanless Ultrabook on battery power is more powerful than a gaming laptop from the same era connected to power. It's simply insane. Furthermore, the MacBook weighs a fraction of the amount, has a much better keyboard, speakers, microphone, trackpad, you get it. Let's move on. The display on the M1 MacBook Air has a resolution of 2560 by 1600, getting 227 pixels per inch. The display can output 1440p with a 16 by 10 aspect ratio, which I think is perfect as it gives vertical space on the laptop when displaying 16 by 9 content. The display also supports P3, making this machine viable for photo and video editing. One slight drawback about the display is the brightness, only going up to 400 nits, meaning using this laptop outdoors won't be fun. These days, almost everything is done on Zoom or Google Meet, and you want to look professional when joining a video call. Sadly, the webcam on the MacBook Air isn't that great. It's 720p, and although it isn't as bad as older 720p webcams, it isn't that great either. On the contrary, the microphones are pretty good. Take a listen. You down, never gonna run around and desert you. Lastly, the speakers are great, being loud, clear, and great for the average consumer. Take a listen. The keyboard and trackpad are simply phenomenal and best in class. Gone are the days of the butterfly keyboard. The Magic Keyboard is the best for typing. Replacing a key on the MacBook Air is also much easier compared to previous butterfly keyboard laptops, which is great when that need comes. The huge glass trackpad is great too, being solid state, supporting Force Touch, and having tons of gestures. Summing it up, the keyboard and trackpad are best in class, and you shouldn't have any complaints with their functionality. Battery life is something that everyone cares about in their laptop, and the M1 MacBook Air simply blows the competition away. Apple advertises 18 hours of battery life on their website, which is crazy. In my real-world testing, I can hit about 14 hours of use, which is amazing. And that's with my aging battery. Simply put, battery life is something that you will not have to worry about. Although the M1 MacBook Air is great in almost every single way, there are unfortunately a few drawbacks, the biggest being with external monitors. The M1 chip is limited to displaying one monitor at maximum, which could be considered a major drawback to some people. Although sidecar doesn't count, so you can use an iPad as a monitor. Another drawback relates to bootcamp support, namely that it doesn't really exist. You cannot install Windows on your Mac. The furthest you can get is emulating it. Lastly, as the MacBook Air doesn't have a fan, doing very demanding tasks for long periods of time will cause thermal throttling. Although, in my experience, the machine has never throttled to the point of slowing down. What really seals the deal with the M1 MacBook Air is the price. Right now, you can get this laptop from Apple for $850 refurbished. In other words, you get a brand new MacBook Air with a brand new battery and a brand new case for $150 less than Apple's usual pricing. But although the M1 Air is still a great value, should you buy it after the release of the M2? Personally, I say yes. The M2 Air has half the storage speeds unless you upgrade the storage, and at that point, it's in a different category of pricing. If you want a powerful, future-proof laptop that's under $1,000, the M1 MacBook Air is for you. Thanks for watching this video. I'm TechnoThorn. Catch you next time.